One evening, a young man walked into a mountain temple carrying a bag filled with gold coins. But despite the wealth in his hands, there was emptiness in his eyes. He sat before an old monk and asked, "Master, people say money is not everything. But without money, life becomes painful. So what is the truth?" The monk looked at him quietly for a moment. Then he pointed toward a candle burning beside them. "Fire," the monk said softly, "can cook your food or burn your house down. Money is the same." The young man stayed silent, and the monk continued, "Money itself is not evil, but when humans worship it, they slowly become slaves to it." The first lesson, money is a tool, not a master. The monk picked up an empty bowl. "This bowl," he said, "is useful because it is empty." Then he looked directly into the young man's eyes. "But when your mind becomes too full of greed, comparison, and endless desire, you lose your peace." Many people spend their entire lives chasing money without asking themselves why. Some destroy their health to become rich. Then later, they spend all their money trying to heal themselves. Some ignore their families, abandon friendships, and sacrifice their happiness just to earn more. But the monk said something important. Money should support your life, not replace it. Because a person with peace and enough money sleeps better than a millionaire filled with fear and stress. The second lesson, poverty also teaches pain. The monk then became quiet. After a long silence, he spoke again. "But never romanticize poverty." The young man looked surprised. The monk explained, "When people say money does not matter, they often forget the suffering of those who cannot afford food, medicine, or shelter. A hungry person does not need philosophy first. They need bread. A sick mother does not need motivational quotes. She needs treatment." The monk gently smiled. "That is why money matters. It gives safety, opportunity, and dignity. The problem is not money itself. The problem begins when humans believe money alone will complete them. Because once basic needs are fulfilled, the hunger inside the human heart changes. It becomes a hunger for status, power, validation, control, and that hunger has no ending." The third lesson, the richest people are not always happy. The monk told the young man about a wealthy merchant he once met during his travels. The merchant owned beautiful houses, expensive clothes, and more gold than he could count. But every night he could not sleep. He feared losing everything. He distrusted everyone around him. Even while eating luxurious meals, his heart remained restless. Then one day the merchant asked the monk, "How can I finally feel satisfied?" The monk replied, "When drinking seawater, the thirst only grows stronger." Desire works the same way. The more humans feed endless greed, the emptier they become. That is why some poor people laugh more sincerely than rich people. Because peace does not come from possessing everything. It comes from appreciating what already exists. The fourth lesson, learn balance. The monk looked toward the mountains covered in fog. "A wise person," he said, "learns balance. Earn money. Work hard. Build your future. But do not lose your soul while building your bank account. Do not become so busy making a living that you forget how to live." The monk explained that money is like water. Too little causes suffering. Too much can drown you. Balance is the answer. Save money, but also save memories. Build success, but also build relationships. Invest in your future, but also invest in your inner peace. Because one day, no matter how rich a person becomes, they will realize something important. The most valuable moments in life were always free. A conversation with someone you love, the sound of rain during a peaceful evening, a deep breath after a difficult time, a quiet mind before sleep. These things cannot be purchased. Final lesson, what true wealth really is. The young man sat silently for a long time. Then he asked one final question. "Master, then what is true wealth?" The monk smiled gently. "True wealth," he said, "is having enough for your needs while still having peace in your heart. Because a rich life is not measured only by money. It is measured by time, freedom, health, love, purpose, and the ability to sleep peacefully at night." The monk then looked at the candle again. "If money enters your hand, use it wisely, but never let it enter your heart. So remember this carefully. Money is not everything. But in this world, everything does need money. That is why wisdom is learning how to earn without losing yourself, how to dream without becoming greedy, and how to live richly not only in your wallet, but also in your soul.